gon' respect it cause this is West Texas.
Well, the disclaimer for teams when going toe-to-toe with the Wall Hawks should be, do not expect a shootout. More like a good old-fashioned country throwdown, which is exactly what the Jim Ned Indians got on Friday night, as the Wall Hawks defense held a very high-scoring Jim Ned team in check, as the kids from the Concho Valley handed the Tribe their first loss of the season, 14-7. Well, hello and welcome to the Cover One Studios. I'm Manny Diaz. I tell you what, that Wall Hawks defense continues to show up week 8. Yeah, it was no different. Coming up, we'll hear from head coach Houston Guy on how his team was able to put the clamps on a very high-powered Jim Ned offense, plus my thoughts on why we have still yet to see how good this Wall defense is. You want to hear me out? Coming up in my final thoughts presented by the Bank and Trust. But first things first, how about those Chip Cole highlights? All aboard for a battle of the undefeated in Tuscola. Mason Fuchs and the Wall Hawks looking for the program's 6th win in the last 7 meetings against the Jim Ned Indians. A little more than a minute to go in the opening frame. So much is said about the Hawks running game, but how about the aerial attack? Mason Fuchs to Connor Deersky for the 22-yard touchdown, 7-0 Wall. Second quarter now, same score, Jim Ned with the rock. Snap a little low, which gives time for Jake Balcom to properly introduce himself. Loss on the play. Later in the drive, Jim Ned doing Jim Ned-like things and going to the air. Looks like an incomplete pass, but laundry on the field. Wall called for pass interference. A little later, same book, just different chapter. The Indians going back to the air, and once again, the Hawks called for another pass interference, giving the Indians a fresh set of downs. Just under 6 to go on 1st and goal. Joe Walker and the Hawks defense scoring a little payback, coming up with a big stop behind the line. But Jim Ned would find a way to bounce back, this time going to the opposite corner of the end zone for the touchdown, and this game is tied at 7. Under a minute to go in the first half, Mason Fuchs and the kids from the Concho Valley saying, "Oh, we came for the dub." The QB1 rumbling his way for the Hawks' first down. Very next play, Fuchs rolls out and hooks up with the junior running back Kai Herbert for the touchdown, giving Wall the 14-7 lead just like that. Third quarter, same score, Hawks driving, but not for long. Pitch out to Chase Rios. Check out Rhett May getting a hat on the ball, jarring the ball loose as Jim Ned recovers. Ensuing Indians possession, the Tribe facing 4th down, and it's plays like this that's going to make this Wall defense tough to beat. Connor Deebich coming from the safety spot, almost making the pick, but no worries, turnover on downs. Under 2 to go in the frame, Jim Ned scoring a little momentum. Dylan Martin to Jamin Harwell for the big gain to move the chains. A few plays later, the Wall defense embracing that bend but do not break philosophy. Holla at your boy, Jake Andrews coming up clutch for the pick. Let's check that Texas Bank scoreboard as the Wall Hawks survived this one against a pretty solid Jim Ned team, beating the Indians 14-7. Mason Fuchs good for 110 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, but the stats of the night, Wall not allowing 1 yard of rushing from the Jim Ned ground attack, while the Hawks defense also good for 3 sacks when it was all said and done. After the game, the Hawks old ball coach pumped about his defense.
Our secondary guys did a great job covering the pass and doing a good job covering those guys up. I don't think they caught very many balls uncontested. I think they caught 2 or 3 balls that made great catches, and even those were contested catches. They just did a great job coming down. They did a fantastic job.
And then offensively, it was kind of slow. Y'all got one big drive, but at the end of the game, when y'all needed to hold on to the ball, y'all were able to keep the ball. What does that say for y'all's offense?
You know, it was something that when we needed it, we came up big. You know, put 3 first downs together right at a big situation where we had to have it to not give the ball back to them. You know, I was proud of our kids for grinding it out right there, and they did a great job.
And then finally, with y'all being undefeated and knocking off another undefeated team, what does this message say to everybody else in the district and everybody else really in y'all's class?
You know, I don't know how much it says to everybody else in the district or everybody else in the class. You know, I think it was 2 great football teams coming together. I think everybody in our district is pretty good. I think Eastern next week is going to be ready for us. I think they're going to be ready to play. You we're going to be ready for those guys. And it's going to be a great matchup. And Coach Morton does a great job over there. There will be no surprises, for coming from us for that guy. He's seasoned and he's seen everything. So there will be no surprises for him.
It's time for the Newland ERA and Company play of the game. Not too much scoring in this one, but honestly, no problem. So how about that second quarter touchdown when Mason Fuchs rolled out to find Kai Herbert in the end zone for the go-ahead score, would ultimately be the touchdown that sealed the win for the Hawks. Fuchs, a solid passer and with plenty of weapons around him. You pair that with this Wall defense, yeah, this team is going to be a tough out, that's for sure. The go-ahead touchdown is good for this week's Newland ERA and Company play of the game. If the Wall Hawks continue on the path they're on, this season looks to be one to remember. Defensively, Wall is making a case to be the best defense not only in West Texas, but in all of Class 3A. Not one team this season has scored more than 14 points on the Hawks. Holding Jim Ned to just a touchdown was huge, especially for an Indians team that's been averaging better than 43 points per game entering Week 8. But if you ask me, we'll truly find out how good this Hawks defense is this week after the battle with four-star prospect and Texas Tech commit Behren Morton in the Eastland Mavericks. Video game-like numbers are coming from the junior QB1. Morton threw for 376 yards and 8 touchdowns in the 76-28 win over Breckenridge, not to mention had an impressive 72% completion rate in Week 8. Over the years, Wall has matched up with some of the best in Texas, but Morton and this Eastland team looks to be a real contender. What the Hawks defense can do against the Mavs this week will tell us plenty, and perhaps be a true indicator of how good this defense is, but more importantly, how far the Hawks can go this postseason. We'll talk about a 2-week gauntlet for the Wall Hawks. Yeah, Jim Ned in Week 8, and coming up this Friday, it's four-star quarterback prospect, a.k.a. Texas Tech commit Behren Morton in the Eastland Mavericks. A district title will no doubt be on the line in a battle of these two undefeated teams. The Cover 1 Mix crew will for sure be on scene for this one. Well, we can't say goodbye without showing you those Bug Express sounds of the game. That Wall Hawk fan base always ready to support the kids from the east end of Tom Green County. All right, for that San Angelo Live Cover 1 crew, I'm Manny Diaz. God bless. We'll see you in Week 9.
For your Jim Ned Indians, number 68, Sawyer Higgins.